I sold over 200 of these minis last year, and two very distinct themes came up, and that was just the retail side. Hi, if you're new around here, I'm Erica. This is August and Obi, and I run a small business out of my home studio in Maryland, and I make paper cuts, plant accessories, and horse girl accessories. So today I want to talk about minis. So I started selling these years ago, but last year specifically, I sold over 200 of these on the retail side and close to the same number on the wholesale side. So I want to talk about what was popular. So let's break down what was popular on the retail side and then what was popular on the wholesale side, because that's two different markets. So first, let's start with retail. So for the minis, I went ahead and broke this down into two categories, local and original. So I had to do this because every year I do this one show in Pittsburgh, and my family's from Pittsburgh. We've done this show for like a decade, and it's like 5 days long at least. It just depends which set of weekends and stuff you pick. I usually do the 5 day. And so the local Pittsburgh designs actually skew my retail side. So let's go over the local stuff and then we'll go into original designs. So the top three sellers were the Pittsburgh map, and this is like where the three rivers come together, as you can see by the gold. And then the roads cut out and bumped up, like, I can stick my nail under there. Then there was the Pittsburgh incline, which if you've ever been to Pittsburgh, there's an incline, like a train car that goes up and down the cliffside. And you can like see the whole city and stuff. It's very pretty, very cool. Did it when I was a kid. Really enjoyed it. And then we had the Pittsburgh skyline. And for all of these, I do different backgrounds for each one. So like there might be a red background for the skyline, or pink, or whatever I feel like making, let's be honest. So those were the top three local designs, but I do have other designs that were close, like my Lovian's Candy Hearts, the Pittsburgh Heart. This is the Roberto Clemente Bridge. It's one of the bridges that goes over the three rivers. And then the parking chair. If you know, you know. I do also have Maryland ones. Like I do these states with hearts for your city. So I have some stores in the area, this is getting into wholesale, where they will get a heart over the area that they're in, like Annapolis, Baltimore, etc. Also do these for Pennsylvania, New York, and stuff like that. Then we have my road bike, but it has the Maryland flag in the wheels. I love this one. Definitely have some Maryland pride in me. So why do I think these three are popular? Now, obviously this isn't a mini. I should have said that before, but it's obviously not a mini. I just don't have any mini maps left. Go figure. So these three, I think a lot of it has to do with like giftability. Like a lot of people who buy these, when it comes to men, it's a lot of like putting it in their office. And then when it comes to women and younger people, it's a lot of like local pride that you might like put it in your living room, and then a lot of like buying it for college age kids who are like leaving the state or leaving the city, and so like they might take like a little memory with them. And typically I sell 99% of these Pittsburgh designs in Pittsburgh. I do have a show at Penn State that I usually do regularly, and I'll take a couple Pittsburgh pieces because there's always Pittsburgh people there. And at shows, I typically sell all of these framed. I do sell them unframed, but I would say most of my sales are framed. So let's get into original designs. So when it comes to original designs for the year, and again, this is still retail, my top ones in no particular order, why is this frame so dirty? Is the hummingbird. I actually have two versions of this. They're very similar. So I just grouped them into one. So we have the hummingbird. Then we have our classic raven on a skull. It has this gold behind the skull, so the gold. So the skull is shimmery. And then, this is another 5x7 because I didn't have any minis of it, is the Raven King. It has a little heart locket and a little crown. And I pulled two to show you like the variety of different backgrounds. So like this one is actually hand marbled paper. And of course I did purple and black for Baltimore Ravens. And then this one is like a dry brush-ish, like play with different colors in like the blues and aquas. This one is just black painted paper and then this like little star system painted on it. And then this one is digital painting. So why? The hummingbird, I don't really know. I mean, I do tend to sell a lot of birds. I don't know, is that just because I make a lot of birds? Who knows? But the hummingbird was actually new last year and it made it into the top 3. So good job, hummingbird. The raven skull was just like an instant classic when I made it. Now, I'm also from Baltimore, so there is a little bit of local in the ravens, but most of where I sell the ravens are actually not here in Baltimore. I think the ravens are like a little more witchy, aesthetic, you know, like dark. Not evil, just gothic. And I think that's kind of fun. Like even me who like loves pink and bright colors, like listen, I love a good raven. There's just something about them. And apparently, so do other people. Now, let's talk wholesale. So, if you remember recently, I did a wholesale order for this store in California that's always ordering tons of otters. So here's a little otter family. And then, oh no, he's on my sleeve. And then we have our kissing otters. So because I have this one store that orders regularly and orders a lot of otters, that actually way skewed the results for the wholesale side. So I went ahead and picked outside of the otters. Like what was number like 3, 4, and 5 rather than 1, 2, and 3. So when we go into not otters, number 1 was the mercat, and he's just a playful little dude. Oh, you can see me in the in the reflection. He has his little fish. He also has gold in his tail, so you can see a little bit of shimmer. And then, similar to retail, the ravens again. And I think a lot of this has to do with one of the big themes when it comes to my art and customers is like, it's very unique, but it's not so crazy niche. Like, if you have a friend who loves cats, they'll love a mercat. If you have a friend who loves mermaids, they'll love a mercat. If you have a friend who just loves weird stuff, they'll love a mercat. You know, so it's sort of that relatability. And I think with each one being one of a kind, like all the different background colors, you can really cater it to somebody specific. You know, like if your friend loves pink or purple or blue. And then I think because of that, on the wholesale side, it really lets stores order multiples of stuff and have nice little upsells they can put on the counter or on a shelf somewhere. They're just really perfect for just quick gifts you can buy somebody rather than spend a lot of money. You can still buy original art and have a gift for somebody, especially if you've got like a little bit of quirk to your store. I also sell a lot of nautical stuff in general. We have like a lot of coastal stores. And I think like having a little souvenir to take home from the beach that's a little bit quirky or funny and is like bright and cheerful and like just reminds you of the good times you had on your trip. It's just like an easy little gift buy for yourself. So what's next? What's the takeaway? So to sum it up, both retail and wholesale, the local designs were popular and originals, especially birds. When it comes to the backgrounds, a lot of what we sold were blue, especially this robin's egg blue. And hey, my nails almost match. And then like multicolor patterned backgrounds, I would say were number 2. And then of course we had pinks, purples, we had hand marbled, ink wash. I did some alcohol ink ones last year. We did acrylic paint. Like, if I can get my hands on the supplies, I'll play with it. When I first came out with minis, I had like a family friend say, you know, like don't undersell yourself, like by making a smaller version of your art. But minis are just so irresistible. Like everything's cuter in miniature. Look how little it is. It's so cute. And it's a whole dragon. So my point being, I'm gonna keep making these. They're popular retail, they're popular on wholesale. Everybody love, like at shows in person, people just love to flick through and look at all of them, especially since they all have different backgrounds. It's really like the joy of the hunt. Like if you're a home goods girly, you know. So this year, I think we'll have to make a little bit longer of a list of what sold retail, and then we'll have to expand on that. Let me guess, there'll be more birds. So stay tuned. We'll have to get into show season eventually. We've got some more stuff coming up, including the best sellers for button and fern, the plant accessory line, which was also very interesting. So I'll see you guys next week.